I'd like to welcome everyone to the conversation where we talk about everything Cowboys. My favorite team, your favorite team, America's team. Here with your host, Coach Marv.
What's going on, Cowboy Nation? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? How would I get back to this? I can't believe I can't get back to this. I don't know how I got to. Cowboy Nation, I'm sorry there's been just technical difficulties, man. Listen, man, I'm glad I'm here with you. I got on here a little late, man. I'm on here late, but I had to get on here. I know that the guys in the a lot of my YouTube friends, I watched some of their show and they just got off, but I wanted to get on here to say thank you. I reached one of my goals. I got 500 subscribers, man, to my YouTube channel. And I'm very close to having 500 followers on my X account, man. And that was a great goal for me, man. And I got to the 500. Now I just got to get the watch hours. Church, I got to get those watch hours. Now I need 1,000, another 1,000, but that means I got to put in work to get those out. But I'm at 500, man. My last video was one of my best videos that I had out there that I talked on the other day, man. And I just want to say thank you for all the guys and people out there that's been following me, watching and sharing, and people who have to subscribe to my channel on this. And it's a pleasure. I promise you from now on that we're moving on, man. We're moving on into the season. The other half of that, after I said thank you, man, was that it's time to go win a football game in Philly. And we're less than a week away from Philly. There's no you're probably not gonna get me into no more Michael Parsons talk. I do want to say one thing. And there's one last thing I'm saying about the trade. For a guy named Clark that plays as well, and I'm talking about Clark. For a guy that has Clark's playing skills, if Jerry them got Clark where his cap hit is virtually nothing, and they got this deal where Green Bay took his cap hit, and that the amount of money that they had to pay, Green Bay paid some of the money, and the amount of money they got to pay in the next 2 years is very minimal. But if y'all don't think this is a win deal, y'all crazy. You got a guy that can play. You got no cap hit. You're not paying any cash money out of it. And you got 2 first-round draft picks, and you draft well. If that's the case, it was a no-brainer. So, like I said, now it's time for the coaching staff to turn this over, and this could be another historical deal. But forget all that. Let's go win in Philly. And if you've been following me on Twitter, on X, you remember last year and the previous years, this past year, I've said when you go on the road, and I talked about this last year when we went to Philly. When you go on the road, there is a certain mentality you have to gangster your victory on the road. You don't go on the road being cool. Anytime you go on the road in any situation, especially in the NFL, you got to gangster your victory. You going, especially when you're going to Philly, there ain't gonna be that many Dallas fans. This is their game after they won the Super Bowl. It's no you got the gangster. Oh, and before I go into what you have to do, it's a correction. Let me make a correction because one of my I forgot who it was, but hopefully they may hear this. There was someone that was in my post that talked about my last feed, and they did a correction, and I want to make sure I acknowledge them. They said that they told when I spoke on Philly's roster, I said that Jordan Davis had a bad year and that the Philly didn't pick up his 5th-year option. When they said that, so I went back and researched it. Yes, Philly did pick up the 5th-year option of Jordan Davis close to the last day because I think they did in April, and that was close to the last day of picking up the 5th-year option. What that means is when you pick up a first-round draft pick for 5th-year option, that means that locks that guy in for playing for you on that 5th year of that contract. That does not mean there's some big money that's in that 5th-year contract, but that does not mean that he has an extension. That just locks you in to that 5th year. If you think about it, that was Michael Parsons was going into his 5th year option that the Cowboys said, but the Cowboys did well in advance. They didn't wait till the last day, but you lock the guy in so you know you're going to have him for that 5th year. They did that on Jordan Davis. But I will say that he was correct on that. But I will say there was a lot of questions about where they were going to do it, and they did wait. So my thing about him having a bad year and them not really dependent on him is I still believe that. And as I always say, let's talk about how things go. If it takes you that long to figure out if you're going to give a 5th-year option, and then did not give him extension, they're still waiting on some prove it time. Hopefully he'll play well this time. Yeah. Tyler Smith's right, yeah. Signed his 5th-year option, right? Okay. Yeah. So Jordan Davis, there's still some time that they will hope that Jordan Davis does well. Did Jordan Davis start for the Philadelphia last year? No, I think Milton Williams and Carter started. I know Milton Williams had a great year because he got a massive contract from New England. Jordan Davis is supposed to be a little bit better this year, but like I said, after Jordan Davis and Milton Williams, what else you see in Philadelphia? I'm just asking. But I know what people are going to say. They won the Super Bowl. So when teams win the Super Bowl, what we do is usually we just look over and we just say, guys, everybody's good. And that's why I always say, man, if guys on the team want to, everybody want to eat and get paid, this win, and everybody get paid. you know. And uh yeah, so um again, uh Philly has a history, and I go by this, and I'm just using common sense. Just use common sense. Philly has a history of signing their players and signing their players early. So if they hadn't signed, they didn't hadn't gotten an extension with Jordan Davis, and then they wait till April to sign his 5th-year extension. It may be injuries, it may be other stuff, but that tells you that they have some concerns. Okay. Because they don't have a history like us that we drag stuff out. They don't do that. So if they do that, what did that tell you? So, but I just wanted to make that correction because that was brought to my attention, and I wanted to make sure that we understood that correction because that tells you that I do listen to your comments, and and I want to bring that to attention. But like I said, let's go. Let's talk about Philadelphia, and let's talk about Philadelphia. Um, again, Philadelphia going into Philly. We got to understand, man. When we're looking at Philadelphia, we're looking at any team talking about gangster or victory. We cannot be. Our team can't be media driven. And what I mean by media driven, we have sometimes we go into it and we look at certain things because what the media says, but we really look at it, we'll see a different toll. So we have to be focused. This team has to be focused on what's real and what is media driven. And when you go on the road, you have to have a mentality of gangster your victory. And you have to gangster your victory when you go on the road. You're going to take 53 guys into hostile territory. And there are certain things you have to do that are basic things to be able to win on the road. And I pointed those things out. And let's talk about those things right quick. There are things that I pointed out. We're going to see if I can share this screen again. Hear me with this share the screen. Last time I tried to share a screen, and I shared the screen, and it didn't really show up on there. But we're gonna try to share the screen again, and we're gonna see if I got it this time in the share screen. Um, and this time I'm gonna make sure because I'm gonna make sure that what I'm sharing with you, you can see. I mean, last week, even though that video did very well, I was trying to share a screen, and I was sharing the screen thinking that y'all was seeing the screen. And I was just showing just the Twitter part, and I wasn't really sharing the screen at all with y'all. And y'all was looking at a screen that wasn't shared. But we're going to share this screen, and hopefully, if we roll it down, um, hopefully, if I can roll it up a little bit and see if that's what we're going to do. Let's say we stop. And then we go there. Let me show you my extra tools to go cancel that. We're gonna go back here. We're gonna go here. All right. Let's see how that pops up and see if we can get all 8 of those things on the screen so y'all can see all of them on the screen so y'all can see all the gangster stuff on the screen. Hopefully I got it on the screen for y'all to see. And it is. Now y'all got it on the screen. Okay. Gangster and your victory in on the playoff, on the road. This is going to be what we need to do to gangster a victory in Philadelphia. We done moved on. We're not talking about the Michael Parsons thing no more because it really doesn't mean anything. Because he's gone now. Micah's getting ready for his new team. We got a team here, and we got to go into Philly, and we got to gangster ourselves a victory in Philly. These things that you do, this got Philadelphia in it, but these 8 things are the things that you need to do every time you need to go on the road. And if you watch this game, at the end of this game, you take these 8 things and you got more minuses that we lost on these 8 things, our chances of winning is very slim. It's never a guarantee. Coach out, remember Coach out, I always tell you that. There's nothing guaranteed. But I would not like our chances to win if we don't complete these tasks or have most of these in our check mark. If we do have all of these in our check mark, I'm not guaranteeing a win, but it'll be very, very hard for us to lose unless we do some crazy stuff. And something always can happen. If we don't have none of these as a check mark and Philly or the road team, the home team wins all of these, our chance of winning is very, very slim. And I don't think it'd be hard for us to win. And let's go over them. When you're on the road, you have to meet force with force. You cannot go on the road and go in there timid. Anytime you go into hostile territory, you can't. If any of y'all remember, you going into another neighborhood when you was young, or you go somewhere and you're not like, you can't go in there being timid. You don't go in there being arrogant, but you don't be in there being timid. You got to bring your energy to meet their energy. And remember what I always said, every game, every football game, there's an alpha and a beta established. That's not established for the rest of the year, but every game there's an alpha and a beta established. And you have to establish, are you the alpha team or are you the beta team? And that's usually established in the first quarter. That sets the tone of the game. That even sets the how the officials going to call the game and who they're going to lean to as being the aggressive team. So number one, you have to meet force with force. The number 2 thing, you got to win special teams. On the road, it is important because when you're on the road, they already give you -3 points because the other team on the road at home. So you got to win special teams. That means you got to hit your extra points. That means you can't miss field goals. You can't give up big plays on special teams. You can't give up big returns. You can't turn the ball on special teams. You can't have penalties on special teams. If you've been watching Boss Cowboy or our live streams, you will know that Coach Marv is a big person against penalty on special teams. It kills hitting yards. Every time you get the ball, you get a team to turn the ball over to you and punt the ball to you, and you get the ball and you get a penalty, and the penalty puts you back inside the 15-yard line. That's a bad penalty. Anytime you kick the ball or give them any penalty on special team is a bad penalty. Because most times it's in the change of possession. And you're going back before you even start. You got to win the penalty of the special team battle. If we could get a block punt, we could get a return. We have a better return guy. We got one of the best return guys in the NFL. If he could get us a great field position, he can make a return that gets us in great field position if we don't score. But he puts us in field goal position. We got a great kicker. If we can get a return that gets us 3 points, that's a win. When we look at the end of this game, there's a check and balance system that you go for special teams. You look at the return yards. You look at the field position. You look at if they miss field goals, you hit field goals. How many you got to win the special team battle on the road? That's a component of the game that if you dominate that part, it can switch the momentum of a game. The third thing, commit to the running game. You have to commit to the running game on the road. So many teams make the mistake when they go on the road and thinking that they can play a passive game, not meet force with force, and go into a game thinking we can play a passive game and throw the ball around, because the momentum, if the home team starts feeling that they got a physical advantage on you, they already got the crowd. You have to be committed to running the ball. Does that mean you got to run? But could be committed to the running the ball early, even though it may be very minimal. But what you're establishing, you're establishing force against force. Next, you are establishing, like I said, who's the alpha and who's the beta. Usually the team that's committed to the run and gets their running game going first, it limits the other person's running game. I want you to think about this. See, a lot of people don't tell you, but think about this. If y'all watch football, think about this. When you have one team that runs for 150 yards, does the other team really run for 150? Have you ever seen a game where both teams have big running games? Usually it's one team and the other team is not. Right? So if you're the first team to establish a run game, usually you cut the other team down. Commit to running game. And it's not just to commit to running the ball, it's commit to running game. That means you're committed to running and you're committed to slow the running game down for the other team. And against the Eagles, you're not going to stop their running game because they're a prolific run team. I always gets crazy is when people be saying, "Oh man, we let Derrick Henry get 150 yards. Oh, we let Barkley get 150 yards, or they got over 100 yards." Well, a committed running team that's committed to running the ball, you're not going to stop them. What you can do is slow them down, and what you can do is limit their explosive plays in the run game. Make them work for whatever they get. They're going to be a committee because they're going to keep chopping at the tree. So you're not going to shut their run game down to 50 yards to 20 yards. That's ridiculous to even think that. But you can limit the running game when it doesn't hurt you. Slow the Eagles' running game down. Don't give Barkley these 40, 50-yard runs where he runs 20 times for $150, but he got 2 runs for 40 yards, 80 yards on 2 runs, and the rest of the 19 carries, he only got 30 yards. Slow the running game down. The fourth thing is one of the biggest things for the Cowboys. Commitment to the run game, to set up play action pass, and we must have some big plays in our passing game. I do not want, you can't go on the road and use your passing game to be the short passing game and be in big plays. You want to control the game with your running game, and you want to strike big in your passing game. What does that mean? Let's look at boxing terms. When I used to coach, I usually use boxing terms. Jab, jab, body blow. Jab, jab, body blow. That is controlling the tempo of the fight. Straight right hands, uppercut, power left hooks, power right hooks. Those are what we call power punches. Power punches are your passing game. When we use Pickens, when we use CeeDee Lamb, we want them to be power punches. Is that 9 throwing the ball down the field all the time? No. But it should be 20-yard ends, 15-yard ends, throwing the ball in the open field, in the middle of the field where they can run the ball and get 10 chunk yards. I do not want to see us throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb and Pickens on 5-yard comebacks. Those jabs. If we're going to use Pickens and Lamb, let's use the third wide receiver, the tight end, or what. And I want to see tight ends down the field 15 yards. If you're going to use the passing game, you don't have to throw the ball 45, 50 times for the passing game to be effective. But you can't play pity-pat with the passing game. Passing game should be power shots, not jabs. Make big plays in the passing game. The fifth thing is, if you've been watching the Philadelphia Eagles last year, Super Bowl, all last year, they have feasted on big plays. I think it's a chart that I need to find it, what I posted on Twitter. When they did a quadrant, they had a quadrant on the NFL about, and the quadrant was where your team placed in big plays, right? Per so-and-so. So what your average of big plays. They had how your defense ranked and how your offense ranked with big plays. And it was 4 quadrants. One quadrant says the top right-hand quadrant was a great quadrant. That means you was high percentage. But if your defense was up there, that's bad. When the Cowboys last year, in the last 2 or 3 years, ranked very down in the bottom where we gave up too many big plays on defense and we didn't have explosive plays on offense. What's an explosive plays? Explosive plays is 15 yards or more, 20 yards or more in the air, 15 yards or more. It's even worse if you give up an explosive play and it turns into a touchdown. Barkley got 2,000 yards last year because he had probably more 40 and 30 and 50-yard runs than anybody. Him and Derrick Henry. That's how they'll pound you, and bam, they'll run the ball 5 times. In the 5 carries, they may get 16, 17 yards. You think you got them limited. Then they get a carry for 50. 5 carries for 15 yards. That's 3 yards carry. They get 1 carry for 50. Now they got 6 carries for 65 yards, and everybody thinking that they're killing you on the run game. But they're not. They got explosive play. You have to limit the Eagles' explosive plays. Last year in the Super Bowl, they got a explosive play for a touchdown by the 3rd wide receiver. 2 years ago, we was in the game when we left, but the other receiver, Devontae Smith, got a long touchdown on our cornerback. You can't give them explosive plays. Limit their big plays. Make them work their way down the field. That way, you may make them turn the ball over. They have a tendency to give up sacks. Their offensive line does give up a lot of sacks. They talk about how great it is, but it does. But you have to limit their big plays. We have to make big plays. We have to limit big plays. It goes back to my video I told you about the four things you have to win in a football game. That's part of it. That's in every game. This is on the road. But the four battles you have to win on every football game is what? Turnover battle. Explosive plays. That's what I'm talking about with a limited big play. Explosive plays. What? The penalty battle, right? And the penalty battle, the explosive plays, the turnover battle, right? And the effort battle. You win those battles, you have a great chance to win. But we have to limit their big plays. If we limit Philadelphia not having any big 30, 40-yard plays, we got almost a great chance of winning that game. It stopped explosive plays. Remember last year, Shane Barkley didn't have no explosive plays in the first game. We had him under 100 yards. Do you remember the second time? We had him going in the third quarter. He was under 100 yards. And then he got 2 40-yard runs against us and made us look like we was giving up a whole lot. And those explosive plays turned into touchdowns. Explosive plays. Let's limit their big plays. The sixth thing you got to do when we go on the road to gangster you a victory, you got to control the time of possession. What do I mean by controlling the time of possession? If you control the time of possession in a big game, these things are for what you do in big games. This stuff is what you're supposed to do on every game on the road. But these things that I'm pointing out here, if you don't do this against good teams on the road, you're going to get yourself whitewashed. Sometimes against lonely teams, you can get away with that because they just ain't good teams. But when the best is against the best of playing, you have to do these things to have a great chance to win. And number 6, controlling the time possession means we have to have a tempo about our offense where we control the tempo of the game. This goes back to number 3. When you're committed to running game, it goes back to number 1. When you meet force with force, you start to control the tempo. The running game controls the tempo. The passing game scores points. Let's say this again. The running game controls the tempo. The passing game scores points. If I utilize the analogy of boxing again, the points that you accumulate come from the jabs, the body blows inside. The knockout comes from the straight right hands, the power hooks, the uppercuts. The points come from getting the punches in. The big points gets the knockout blows. This is what I'm talking about when I say control the game and control the time of possession. It also frustrates the other team when their offense can't get on the field because you're getting first down. If you get a couple of first downs in a possession, just 2 first downs, the average of on that third possession, if you get a first down and you get 2 first downs, the likelihood you getting a big play in that going for that third first down, the percentages go high because what you do is you frustrate the defense and then they try to squeeze down and bam, that's when the big play comes. So it's important that every possession when we on this road, that it makes difference if we don't score or not, that we get a first down on 70 to 80% of every time we have the ball. And then we try to get the second first down, because if we get the second first down, guess what? We are then controlling the game. And every first down you have, that at least takes 3 minutes off the clock. If you watch Philadelphia in the last 2 years, they control the time of possession in every game. How they do that? Yes, they run the ball, but watch this game. I'm giving you a tidbit. Every time Philly uses their offense, they let their clock go all the way down to the last 5 seconds before they snap the ball. They get up on the line of scrimmage. They don't be sitting in the huddle, but they get up there, but they slow the tempo down because they want to control the tempo of the game. Then they frustrate your offense, because they're on the field. And when you frustrate an offense because they're not on the field, you know what the offense usually does? They come out and they try to throw headshots. They try to throw haymakers. They don't try to set the haymakers up because they're frustrated, because they start rushing. And what happens? Philly turns them over, and that's how they get out on you. They want to control the tempo. We have to control the tempo. Control the time possession. We can control the tempo. First downs. That's what we want. And then the big plays will come. Number 7. We got to hunt Hurst. When I keep going down this list, everything else is a link to every other thing on this list. We meet force with force. We commit to running the ball and slow their running game down. We make big plays in the passing game, so now they feel a little pressed. We limit their big plays. They start to press a little bit, so they start dropping back a little bit more and stop doing RPOs because they feel pressed. If we control the time of possession, what I told you what the Eagles offense is going to do, they're going to start to press. They're going to get out of this RPO thing. They're going to get it to trying to get the ball to A.J. Brown, trying to get the ball down the field to their receivers, because they're going to be trying to get big plays. And now we can go hunt Hurst. Now we're going to say, well, Coach, how you going to hunt Hurst? Because number 11 is not there. Just like the Kansas City hunt people. They don't have no elite pass rusher. Just like Philadelphia's going to hunt. They don't have no top elite fast pass rusher. You're going to manufacture pressures. And we have pass rushers on this team that y'all just underestimate. But if we get them into a one-dimensional game where we control the tempo and we can understand when they're going to pass, we can be able to hunt Hurst. And hunting Hurst, when he's under duress, and we got to keep him in the pocket, because we got to limit his big plays with his feet. So I want them to mirror him with somebody. Because usually that's how he hurt us in the run game. Their run game is not all this same Barkley. And I think we have to be careful when we looking at our run game. And because when you look at the yards in the run game, this is how we used to do the run game. And hopefully it makes sense to you. We used to take out any quarterback scrambles as run. If it was a quarterback scramble, we took that out totals. Because that's a scramble for the run. That he went back to pass and he scrambled and ran the ball. Okay, yes. It is counted as a run, but we have to take that out. Because we look at how efficient our run defense is. Then we take that. Remember I told you, we take the high run out. Whatever the high run for the running back is a 30, 40-yard run, we take that out. Then we average the rest of the regular runs and what the yards are. Sometimes a team might run for 180 yards, but it's really not 180 yards. Their run defense was pretty good. But you had the quarterback run for 70 yards. You had one run from a running back that was 55 yards. That's 120 yards. They ran the ball 33 times. Take the quarterback runs out, take the 50-yard run out, they really average about 2 yards carry on 90% of their runs, 3 yards carry. But it looks like they got 180 yards. When we look at the stats, we like, that's why sometimes stats can be very misleading. That's why you use context. What I said about taking the quarterback runs out, what I said about taking the high out, we're trying to apply context to our run defense. You have to do that as a coach because you start looking just at stats, you start overreacting. Put context to the stats. And number 8, you got to be the most physical team. There's no other way. Listen, when you're at home, you got the advantage of the momentum of the crowd. You always got to be the most physical play, but you have that juice, that extra juice. When you go on the road and you're the visitor and you are in hostile territory, you got to be the aggressor. You got to be the alpha. I know it's hard to go in somebody else's backyard and dog pen and become the alpha, but that's the mentality you got to go with. And if you're the most physical team, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt of the officials. I don't care what y'all say. I know this from a fact with dealing with officials. I had officials tell me, say, Coach, they just more aggressive than you. Because the officials see at the beginning of the game, and the officials can tell you who's the alpha of this game and who's the beta. That don't mean that you're going to be the beta all the time, but officials can tell early, this team is the alpha team. This is the beta. And one thing I've said, and I said this on the live stream, and this is the truth, it's established early, and it won't change during the game. Because once a team feel that they got a dominance on you physically, you ain't going to change that during that game. You may change it next game. But it's like a train rolling downhill. And especially if you allow them to feel like they're the alpha at home, you're in a world of trouble. So you got to go in there, not swinging irrational, not swinging crazy. You got to go in there with a solid defense. Your defense got to be solid on the road. Your offense has to be efficient. First downs. Control the tempo. Limit big plays so they don't get a momentum swing. Dominate special teams. We do these 8 things, folks. I don't give a damn about what you're talking about talent. We do these 8 things here. I don't guarantee wins because I understand football is not a guarantee. I hear people talking about what the known and the unknown. You don't know jack about how a player's going to play. You can say because a guy done did this and he done got this accolades and he got this name that he's going to do that for your team. Nope. When we start thinking the guys don't do, and then we start thinking guys can't do because everybody had to have an opportunity to make a name. Names just ain't come out the clear blue sky. Opportunity leads to names. But names means you are just as good as your last play. I don't guarantee nothing, like I said. But if we do these 8 things in Philly on Thursday night, I love our chances to win it. And I would be at Vegas and putting money on our chances of winning. If we do all 8 of these things, I'm laying some big money on us to win. Because I understand if we don't win after we do these 8 things, it has to be some really crazy stuff that happens. We get big plays in our passing game. We limit them to no big plays. We commit to running game and we slow them running game. We controlling the tempo. We dominating special teams. We meeting their force with force. When we look at the game, we can tell we the alpha of that game. We the most physical team. We the 100 hertz. We got them out of their game plan to run the ball, but they now trying to pass, and we got him scrambling, and we done limit his big plays. I can't guarantee a win, but if you got money, I would put it on the Cowboys. I try to explain these 8 in a way that you will understand. This is the stuff that be on boards that coaches talk about when they're preparing their team to go on the road. This is the stuff that head coaches talk about with his assistant coaches. Remember I had that video saying coaches and coaches? This is the philosophy that the head coach come out. This is not a philosophy for the assistant coaches. This is not a philosophy of what the defensive coordinator has. This is not a philosophy of what the offensive coordinator says. This has to come from the directive of the head of the organization, of the football team. This has to be the philosophy of your head coach because it bleeds down. You want this to be a core cultural thing of you going on the road, meet force with force, win special teams, commit to running game, slow a day running game down, be the better running team in a game. Make big plays in your passing game. Limit the other team big plays. Control time possession. Hunt the quarterback. And be the most physical team. That has to be a core value of your team and your road mentality. Some people gonna cry about what we got. I've heard people that the only thing that they have to say is that the Eagles, they won a championship. Okay, yes. But they have a very young team. Milt Williams is not here. They didn't sign no veteran backup. They went with a rookie. They're going at a rookie at safety. Yes, he may be a very good rookie from Ohio State, but they're going with a rookie at safety. They're going with a rookie. They bringing in another cornerback. Slay is gone. Bradbury is gone. You know, whoever y'all said, but they're going with either Ringo or some guys and yes, that's what you're supposed to do. But this defense that they got is not the same defense from last year. I don't know if the AJ Brown is playing. They talking about he's gonna be out over hamstring, so I don't know if he's playing. I don't know if their offensive guard playing. This team is not the same talented team it's not the same team that they had last year in Philly. So this so scary about their talent, I just don't understand it. But this is not the same team. This is the truth. But when you start telling people the truth about Philly and their talent, the first thing they say, well, they won a Super Bowl. See, that's what I've been always saying to our Cowboy fans, our Cowboy players. Unselfishness is what's going to win you in this league. Yeah. Unselfishness is what's going to win you in this league. You say, well, what you talking about, coach? What you mean by unselfishness? Unselfishness is what's going to win you in this league. Unselfishness is what's going to win you in this league, this football league. Yeah. Because, yes, I wasn't able to see your comment. Limit the penalties too. You can't go and listen, and that was a great thing. But that's part about controlling the time possession, controlling the game. You can't go on the thing and give any yards away and expect you're gonna win a football game. Not on the road, not against a good team. And I'm not saying Philly's not a good football team. But I do know that they have some warts. And I do know every team is different year by year. So we have to be the aggressors. That's why you can need to share this video. Share it with everybody. Because these 8 things that I had up on that board, on that screen there, you want to add penalties to that? Yes. But that's a part about controlling the game. Controlling the temper. Going into Philadelphia, if you're the aggressive team, usually you don't get penalized. I'm telling you, officials give the benefit of the doubt to the team that's the aggressive, the team that established that they're the alphas that night. I feel good about this football team, folks. And what made me start feeling good about this football team? Now I'm about to get in trouble. What made me feel good about this football team is not that Michael Parsons was traded. I think Michael Parsons is a great player. But the type of guy that we got that came in. Clark has been a Pro Bowler, and what we hadn't really heard about Clark. Clark has had that got paid a lot of money, and had a great career. 3 or 4 Pro Bowl this year. But know why we hadn't heard nothing about him? Because he played in Green Bay. And he plays in Green Bay, and he has a mentality of, like he said, I don't talk, let my tape speak for itself. We need a guy that's coming in here that's a veteran, that's humble, because he ain't about spotlight. Football. First, I like the mentality we had coming in here. The second thing was, there's no more talk about Michael Parsons with this team saying, is we going to sign him? Is he going to play? The distraction has been eliminated. The only distraction now is people making up stories or saying why it ain't, but it's no need to make up. It's no need to talk about it no more. It's done now. But if it was hanging over us, we'd still be talking about it. This gives Schottenheimer back control of his football team. Because now he's saying, we got the guys now. And they went on ahead today and signed players. I told you what this is. But some people going to want to know about the Bland contract. I know people talk about it, but it was a team-friend deal. It's really, everybody looking at it and say, oh, he gave Bland $23 million a year. No, he did. Again, I told you how many years that people going to sign for. Nobody's going over 4 years. Because in 4 years, the collective bargaining agreement is over with. They gave him 4 years. They gave him $50 million guaranteed. Ain't that deal sound familiar? He basically got the exact same deal It's Diggs. It's hard. I can't make this up. He basically got the exact same deal as Diggs. And he got an out. They said the out in this contract is after 4 years. And the reason why he didn't get a 6-year deal because he got the same thing with it. But it's great for Bland. I think it's great. I don't think Bland was a top tier pen. I think he's that second level, and he got a second level contract. We're gonna look at it and say, "Oh, $23 million." It's really about $12 million a year. $50 million. I try to explain this to you. 50 million guaranteed 4 years. Do the math. And you're probably getting the signing bonus up front. The extension don't start till 26. He's probably getting the signing bonus, and they probably so 450 divided by 4 is really what all the money that they really owe him. And they announce it like it's some great big deal. Yeah, it is a great deal for Bland. But they're able to make moves now. As I said in the beginning. But I'm not going into but that has nothing to do about this team. But that's one of the reasons why I feel better about this team. Because now it's a renewed focus on football. Now, all the other stories we making up about Jerry don't well, we get rid of Michael Parsons. All these are good stories when you talk about, oh, we ain't got no pass rusher. This guy, he's garbage. Well, we ain't gonna be able to get the quarterback. Our defense go. That's good stories because he can use that not to. He can Shotgun can use that so his players don't get too overconfident because he can say they don't think y'all jack. But it's better that you have that conversation than the conversation about, well, what are you gonna do with Michael Parsons? Is he gonna that right there? Because what you start to do is players start to believe if that guy was here, they start believing that. But now it's over with. That's not a diss to Michael Parsons, but that's the truth. And it's time for us as fans. Let's start talking about what we need to win this game. And 2, what y'all so scared of Philadelphia? I'm telling you, man. They lost a lot. And listen, why they can lose a lot of players? Why did they can take some chances on players with their gambling? They made a draft pick. They traded a guy, one of their better safeties, to get a guard that they were trying to see if they rectify him. And they'll cut the guard before the season starts. They can take chances. Why? They playing with house money. You say, Coach, what you mean by they playing with house money? They won a Super Bowl, man. Rosenhaus got some house money. If they don't do well, he always said we won the Super Bowl last year. So they take chances. What they're doing, I don't think they're going to be as good this year. They're taking chances because they're going younger, trying to build for the future because they got house money. So let's not get thinking that they got some juggernaut. Their roster is not that great. But, I know what you're going to say. But they won a Super Bowl. Okay. So I'm just saying, our content creators, yes, the Parsons things is over. But let's don't be scared of these. Because they really got us talking like some betas. Because when I look at our talent and I look at theirs, let's go over their roster and their youth of their roster. And we talking about the none, the unknown. Let's look at their roster. Well, we know what we're going to say, but they won a Super Bowl. That's what I've been trying to tell our Cowboy players. And I said that, and let me put this word back up here. Put this word up here. I've been trying to tell our Cowboy players for years. Everybody got a brand. But the most important thing, Cowboy players, is your sacrifice to do your job, even though that may be sacrificing some numbers to win. Just win. Dak, you don't have to have 50 touchdowns and 7,000 yards. It doesn't matter. Just win. It doesn't matter, Pickens, if you have 1,800 yards and 12 touchdowns. Just win. It doesn't matter. People say, well, no, he's going to get paid. Let me tell you something. Josh Sweat for the last year Eagle team, who had pedestrian numbers. The team did not sign him to an extension during the year. He has a big Super Bowl game. He goes to Arizona and makes, what, $20 million a year. It doesn't matter, people. Just win. And if you win, guess what? All y'all gonna eat. And when our players understand that they're sacrificing to put their best foot for the commitment to the team, they're going to end up where everybody's going to eat, because people pay guys that was on winning teams big money because they feel that they did something because they're in the winning atmosphere. Just win. It may sound like what the old Al Davis thing. Y'all might not like him because y'all might think Jerry would, but Al Davis was the most important phrase that he had. Just win, baby. And everybody's going to eat. Because we're pumping up guys in Philly that, but you know what they're going to say? Because they won Super Bowl last year. They must be great. I ain't disrespecting for them winning the Super Bowl, but damn, I'm a Cowboy fan. We're talking like they used to talk. Well, we know, and we do that. We got to try to keep in the game, and we know we got to. Well, we could trick them. They don't know what we gonna do. Man, we ain't got to trick Philadelphia to beat Philadelphia. Y'all act like Philadelphia's the where? Y'all act like they got 10 Hall of Famers on their team. Let's do those 8 things that I pointed out, man. Meet force with force. Win special teams. Commitment to the run game. Commitment to the run game. Commitment to stopping the run. And let me touch on that again. Because sometimes I think our fan base is got some misunderstanding. I have talked on my live show for, let me go here and put this word up. I have talked on my live stream on several occasions. Let me, I had to touch on this record because this is really getting on. It's really starting to make me really mad. I have talked on my live stream on many times about run defense, and some of y'all out there, even I seen people putting up the stats talking about, let's look at the bad. I mean the Packers run defense with the new defensive tackle we got. Like that really means something. Oh, because if they got this one guy, they defense should be in the top. If you got one guy that's here, that makes you run defense better. Damn it, I'm gonna tell you again. If you're looking to start the running game with just the defensive line or linebackers or just the safeties or just what they, you're gonna be a mediocre run defense or a bad one. Run defense and running the ball is one of the hardest committed things that you can do in football. It's not the passing game. On running the ball and stopping the run, it takes a commitment from 11 damn guys to be effective and to be a quality run team and run defense. And it has to be a core DNA to your team. That's why you see some teams that are good at the run, stopping the run, over and over and over every damn year, because that's a core value. Teams that you see at the top of the run defense, there's 2 to 3 reasons why they top in run defense. Everybody wants to say it's players, but these 2-3 reasons is more important than the players. Because yeah, you're gonna get guys to fit your core values, but one, most of the teams that have stopped the run, right? They good at running the ball. Huh. Most of the teams who can stop the run are good at running the ball. Duh. Why? I just talked about that. How many games you have seen where one team was running the ball good and the other team was running the ball at the same time? It's not really happening. So if I'm committed to the run and I get my run game first, it limits your effectiveness to run the ball. And if you limit your effectiveness of attempts to run the ball, what you think that's going to help with my run defense? It's going to make it better. You don't chop at the tree as much, I'm going to be better. The second thing that great run defenses have, it's a core value to their team that stop the run. How is it a core value? If they got a core value of running the ball to control the tempo, do you think that's going to translate to their defense and knowing that it should be important to stop the run? Yes. If your offense don't think the run is important, do you think that's going to translate into your defense? No. And if it's a core value to your defense, guess what? Everybody on that defense, all the guys, if you run to the outside, those 11 guys know that corner needs to come up and shut that run down to a minimal gain. When them safeties say that they diagnose that this is a run, they ain't standing back there and saying, oh, go get him, linebacker. Oh, go get him. Oh, you can get him, and sitting back there waiting. Because it's a core value and everybody's committed to it. And you have a good run defense. And I must tell y'all something today. And I said this on the last time. I'm the most positive coach y'all, and I understand development. But I'm saying this. If our safety play is horrible, we're going to struggle. And I have very little patience for Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson because I know how well they can play. But it's time to either crap or get off the pot. It's time to stop hiding in the shadows and go back to being dominant because this defense is set up for y'all to be stars. In the run game and in the pass game. Either you're going to accept it and go after it, or I need to get some young guys that's going to accept it and go after that stardom. You're going to hear me say this. It's set up for y'all to be stars, man. So, I had to get on my soapbox with the run game. And that's the truth. 11 committed guys, core value to stopping the run. And we do that, we'll be all right. And it's not stopping the run. I hear people say stopping. You want to limit the run for it to be as tough as possible. And you must eliminate big plays. I've been on here a little longer than what it's 12 o'clock. I know I came on late. Hopefully, since I've been doing this, hopefully this gets on and this starts to like my last video, gets in a lot of different feeds, but share it. Share it on Twitter, share it on X. If you hadn't subscribed, please subscribe. Share this video to other people. I also want you to do me a favor. I have put out some very good videos. If you have missed some of my videos and you have subscribed to my channel and you have missed some of my videos, I'm going to tag this video to my playlist. Go to my playlist and watch some of my other videos. That's going to help me with the viewing hours. That's all. And put a like and comment. The likes, comment, and subscribe, man, is going to be, let's go, because there's some other videos that's going to be some very good stuff. Check out the video that talks about, let's just talk about winning. It talks about the four battles that I said that you got to win. We're going to have that video. We're going to talk about that more. But let's take the look at this video, share this video about that portion, about the 8 things we need to do to go into Philly and gangster. That's a victory. Gangster, you're a victory. You go in hostile territory. You don't go in there like Mary Poppins. You go in there like a gangster. And that's how you come out of there with a victory. Again, man, thank y'all so much for getting to 500 subscribers on YouTube. Let's try to get to 500 subscribers on followers on X. And go to my playlist. Go through that playlist. Hopefully, I'm going to put some shorts out. I'm going to have some shorts that I'm going to put out. So probably tomorrow. But I just want to say thank you for all the people that's been in the chat, for all the people that has been following, for all the people that have shared it, for all the people who have commented, for the people who have commented that like what I said, and the people who have commented that has some pushback. Thank you. Because like I said, I read these comments and I try to discuss. That's why I went back and apologized for saying that Jordan Davis did not get an extension. When I saw that, I researched it and found out, yes, he did it. But hey, I still put it out there. But I want to make sure that y'all understand that I'm not so caught up on me not to understand to see other views. But I'm giving you what's being talked behind those walls. I'm giving you the insights that people are not going to talk on ESPN. People are not, because that's not exciting. But these are the psychological, physical things that you have to have in team building to get the most out of your team. Let's not go into Philly and be scared. And we go in there and you're not scared, you're not going to turn the ball over. You're not going to give up big plays. Let's go in there and play sound, disciplined football. And if you go in there winning these 8 battles, going there and doing these 8 things on the road, you're going to be able to have a very good chance to walk out there with a victory. But as I said before, thank you so much. Let's get back to being our real Cowboy fans, and let's not worry about being scared of these guys. Damn Philly. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I feel. And I always feel like they still below us, even though they Super Bowl champions. If you want to support the channel, we're getting close to being monetized so we can support where you can support with super chats when we get to that point. But right now, if you want to support the channel, again, Cash App, you can Cash App me at this, and this is everything. I want to say thank you for a Cash App I got, a couple of Cash Apps I got, which was support the channel. And what I did with those Cash Apps is I invested in getting some more equipment that's going to be coming, another keyboard, so I can try to share some stuff. So I invested that already, and I'm trying to invest, get something, so because I'm supposed to be in Dallas on September 27th. Hopefully, I'm going to do some content from Dallas with the guys from Dallas that I've been working with, and there hasn't been a chance to really see them. But I had planned a long time ago. We had planned this a while ago, before the trade, but we were going to the Green Bay Packer game. I'm going to the Green Bay Packer game with a friend of mine who's a Packer fan. We've been friends since first grade, 5 years old. So we've been friends for over 50 years. And we've been friends for over 50 years. And he's been a Green Bay Packer fan all his life. And I've been a Cowboy fan. And we're coming to the game. We had decided to come to the game a while ago, but look what happened. Now we're coming to the game, probably one of the biggest weighted game that's going to be played, because everybody going to want to know what Michael's going to come back to Dallas do. So it is going to be a great game. And if you want to support the channel, support my trip, or help support, Coach, you get a beer when he gets down to Dallas and give y'all some great content. This is my Cash App, $PBS 222. PBS 222. PBS stands for Phi Beta Sigma 222. So, but hey, PBS, $PBS 222. Again, thank you so much for being with me. Hopefully you got to see my share screens and we can work to get to 6. But hey, thank you, and let's go into Philly and win. Until next time, enjoy your holiday tomorrow. Be safe out there. Don't let these guys get no tickets for you on Labor Day right off the bat. Be safe. Enjoy your families, and tell somebody in your family. Tell your family that you love them. And I love you because y'all Cowboy Nation. Love you. Peace out.